So that psychologically, if today somebody a BTech or MA or BA or BCom, if they passed out of the examination, nobody say that I am unemployed. They may do something, I am in a startup. That psychological are very, very strong. And particularly for last 10, 12 years, the Startup India, Invest India becomes, this ecosystem is really playing a big game. And many of the people, even before completing the IIT or MBS, they are going to start something on the idea. Before they could buy a table chair, also their idea also being sold in multi-million dollars. I have got many friends, but I myself have invested 2, 3 companies, a small investor, but I am an employee, senior employee in a group company. If you really go back to Flipkart, see the history of the Flipkart. I'm not against this concept. Out of Flipkart promoters' contribution, out of 20, they called, when they reach $1 billion, what they call? Unicorn. In fact, out of 20 unicorns in the last 3 years, 10 unicorns created by only Flipkart promoters. They invest there, they invest there, they invest there. So it's a wrong ecosystem. So we have to see that the Flipkart promoters, Flipkart companies, they have invested many companies, they also become the unicorn. That is what I said here. Thank you very much, Nikhilji.
Thank you, Chaudhary Sahab. I'd like to request Mr. Rajendra Kumar Sharma. He's the Director for Jammu and Kashmir Entrepreneurship Development Institute. Sir, over to you.
J&K, as far as our startup is concerned, has started gaining momentum right from the date of launch of this startup policy. The startup policy was launched on 3rd of March this year, and accordingly verified startups on DPIIT portal. So I would like to give a breakup of this 835 startups, and out of 835, the major chunk is the startups dealing with the constructions. Our operational guidelines, and we have recently on 20th of July, Honorable LG J&K UD was pleased enough to launch our online portal startupjk.com, and we have started inviting applications for seed funding, and I'm pretty hopeful that with this ICC events, our startup shall be getting a good platform for market linkage. Just I will like to say this thing right today. So, and I am hopeful and pretty thankful to ICC. They have done this in J&K, and definitely now nobody can stop J&K from growing as a leading startup ecosystem in India. Thank you.
And buzz economy is the best economy from the Silicon Valley or from the US or everywhere. Fair enough. But why do we need to, use the word tech every time we talk about startups? No, we don't need to use the word tech. What we need to do is what he said. Tech is an enabler for our businesses to grow. Kashmir as a place does not need to compete with the Silicon Valley or the Bangalore. Those guys are producing tech. Let them do it. Use it for your benefit. What's been done, it's done. What you can do is leverage on everything that exists and grow exponentially. Now, interestingly, we all, from here, everybody spoke about like all the, traditional businesses. Interestingly, whenever we talk about startups or entrepreneurs, we somehow relate ourselves to everybody who started something new. But why are we giving up on traditional businesses? Honestly, my recent investment is a traditional business. I just want to run it in the most new age fashion, and it is agriculture. And that is what I would, I'm not saying that start agriculture, but I'm saying there are ways and means of doing every business that exists here and take it to the world. Let's not, I think as a country, we need to start thinking about how do we retain our money and we sell everything. Interestingly, when I was doing a bit of research on the carpet industry, the handicraft industry, and I was like, why is it that all the premium and the luxury brands are related to Europe, and nothing is from Kashmir or Rajasthan or Kerala or Mysore? I mean, if you talk about the carpets, you know, if I just throw a guess to a person from Europe or America and say what the, you know, how much you think the carpet would, they just say like it's $20,000. I mean, $20,000. It's around 10 lakh, 15 lakh. I mean, no, this can be 50 lakhs. This can be a crore. But why aren't we able to sell this internationally? Do you know that interestingly that the West discourages imports from Kashmir? Why do they discourage it? So that is what we all need to join hands as ICC, as the government bodies, as everything, to lobby against this idea that no, if you guys sitting outside India are ready and to sell stuff which is made in Bangladesh or made in Vietnam where you're running sweatshops, and then you talk about that here the working conditions are not conducive enough, hence we will discourage them. They just fear that our greatest products will overpower the entire luxury line items that these guys sell. So we guys have massive potential. When I say we, I mean we as Kashmiris. I kind of, you know, I think Amin Astu, Amin Astu, Amin Astu. God Pradesh Baru. So I feel that whenever we do any sort of entrepreneurship or startup, we should not discount our existing ecosystem, a step in the history, and then we carve the future is a way to proceed with any business. And there is no doubt that a business can fail if you do not have a step in the history.